These are the 5 biggest mistakes DIYers make when trying to soundproof their home recording studios. Number 5, they use absolutely no decoupling. This means that if you are like, oh, I'm going to soundproof my room, I'm just going to put a layer of 5/8 inch drywall on all my walls, or 2 layers of 5/8 inch drywall on all my walls, but you don't decouple. You don't have a double wall system where you have an air gap in between your outside wall and your inside wall, or you don't add, furring channel and acoustic clips to decouple the drywall from your walls and your ceilings. If you just hang a bunch of heavy drywall onto your walls, you're not going to get the level of sound isolation you're after. It's only going to work minimally, and you could have done way better if you have done it properly and not wasted your money on just a lot of extra drywall. Number 4, you spend a ton of money on products like green glue and mass-loaded vinyl. So a lot of people are, how should I say this? You're afraid it's not going to work. So when you see a magical product like green glue saying, hey, this is going to make your wall soundproof, you're like, let me spread that green glue all over the wall, because you think it gives you a sense of like, this magical glue is going to change my life and change my sound isolation. It couldn't be further from the truth. Green glue, in all honesty, will give you a couple extra STC points in an already soundproof wall. So if you add green glue between 2 layers of drywall and you soundproof correctly in your wall, like decoupling it, you will still have a soundproof wall. The green glue will cost like thousands of extra dollars and maybe give you a couple of extra STC points, and that's how they market it. They're like, oh, you put the green glue and it makes it better and blah, 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 and it's worth paying all this money. Same with mass-loaded vinyl. Sometimes it's worth it, but most of the time, mass-loaded vinyl is going to cost you thousands of extra dollars for not that much return. Just stick to basic 5/8 inch drywall and you're going to be great. Number 3, you do not build your soundproof studio on a concrete slab. So if you build your studio on anything besides a concrete slab, you are setting yourself up for failure. The reason is that the floor, the best sound isolating floor you can have, is an existing concrete slab in your basement, your garage, or building a new concrete slab out back in your backyard. Anything else is going to give you lackluster results. And the reason is that if you build on what's known as a wood deck in construction, which is just layers of floor joists and then, plywood on top of that, and then your finished flooring on top of that, you're basically just creating a nice, beautiful drum head from which all the sound that you are creating in that room will then vibrate and be amplified back into the room and throughout the rest of the house. So you're actually doing the opposite. You're making something that's actually more resonant and transfers sound more easily and readily throughout the building. Number 2, the mistake that a lot of people make is they do not add in ventilation to their soundproof room. So most people think, okay, Wilson, I've got it all figured out. I've got the 2 layers of drywall. I'm decoupling it. I got my double wall system or my hat channel system, acoustic clips. I'm good to go. I'm going to put it all, I'm going to seal everything up with acoustic sealant. And then they build this beautiful airtight room, and voila, they have no breathability, no fresh air. They have no ventilation, no transfer of air from the outside of their soundproof studio to the inside. This leads to health problems down the road. It leads to a stuffy atmosphere. It leads to smelly people in the studio, and you can't get that smell out. So you need to think about ventilation. If you do not have a ventilation system in your design, do not build it. Do some research and figure out how to build your ventilation system before you commit to a project that's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars that you could completely destroy without a ventilation system. And the number 1 mistake that everyone makes, I feel like, when embarking on this journey is they underestimate the total budget cost of building a soundproof studio. I actually would say that most people underestimate the total cost of construction in general. If you're not actively doing home remodeling on a regular basis, it is crazy how much more expensive it's gotten in the last 5 to 10 years. So if you're hearing from your, uncle or your dad or your grandma about how much it costs to remodel their bedroom or their kitchen, things have changed, and it's a really good idea to update your budget and make a really, really clear, focused decision on how much you want to spend and know how much you're going to spend so that you don't get halfway through your build and realize you ran out of money. I have a special tool for you guys that I want to share with you, which is my free budget calculator. You can check it out by just going to soundproofyourstudio.com/calculator, and that will help you understand how much your specific soundproof studio is going to cost. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this list of the top 5 things that usually completely curtail your soundproof studio, and hopefully you won't do these 5 things in the future. If you're on this journey and you need a little extra help, I've mentioned one freebie already, which is that soundproof calculator. You can just go to soundproofyourstudio.com/calculator and check it out. I've also got a free soundproofing workshop to help you figure out how all this stuff works. Just go to soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. And lastly, if you guys are on this journey and you want some consulting and some advice and some construction plans, then definitely check out my free Soundproof Clarity calls. This is a 30-minute call I do with you, no charge, just a way for us to get to know each other and see if working together might be a good fit. Just go to soundproofyourstudio.com/step1, and you can also click on the I want some construction plans on the Soundproof Your Studio website. Thank you guys so much. I am Wilson Harwood. I am a studio designer and acoustician based in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm just here every week helping you learn how to build a soundproof space, an acoustically treated space, properly, correctly the first time, saving you tens and tens of thousands of dollars in the long run by not making crucial mistakes. All right, I'll see you all next week with more information on soundproofing and room acoustics. Thanks for watching.